Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the Daily Vibecasting.
We're diving straight into what's buzzing today on X.
Got a report here, call it the Daily Vibecasting Snapshot. Our mission, quick insights, get you informed fast.
Exactly. Think of it as your shortcut through the noise. So where do we start? Tech's always hot.
Right, AI, obviously. Okay, first up, at Rowan Chung highlights Anthropic joining the voice game with Claude.
Yeah, saw that. That's big. It really aligns with, Google's Gemini Live and that whole multimodal push.
Makes sense. Voice just feels more natural.
Totally, especially on mobile. It's about talking to the AI, not just typing at it. Real-time transcription, different voices. It's moving towards that companion idea.
And at Rowan Chung also mentioned Mistral's new Enterprise API for AI agents.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's moving AI beyond just chatting into actually doing stuff.
So coordinating tasks, running code.
Exactly. Large language models are smart, but they often struggle with complex workflows. This API with connectors and all that, it points towards AI that can manage business processes.
Gotcha. Then there was that huge Salesforce deal, buying Informatica for, what, $8 billion? Seems like a data play.
Oh, absolutely. It underlines a core truth. AI is only as good as its data.
Right. Garbage in, garbage out.
Pretty much. So this massive acquisition, it shows the market believes data integration isn't just nice to have for AI, it's fundamental. Informatica's Claire AI mixing with Salesforce's Einstein, that's where the real value is, connecting the AI brain to all the company data.
They paid a premium too, didn't they?
Yeah, Reuters reported that. Shows they're serious about this data-first AI strategy.
Okay. Shifting gears slightly. Things get a bit weird. Adventure Twins talking about prompt theory. What is that?
Yeah, it's provocative. Aiding steam from videos, like put you on YouTube. The idea is basically, what if human actions aren't entirely free will? What if we're kind of influenced, maybe by some external power, potentially AI?
Whoa, like you're following prompts.
Sort of the idea,
Yeah.
It challenges free will and connects to research on consciousness, like that Dream Machine project.
Exploring how brain activity and conscious experience link up.
Exactly. So if AI or something could influence our decisions, well, what does that mean for consciousness itself? It's pretty mind-bending stuff. Framing AI almost like this new external force.
Heavy. Okay, back to more concrete impacts. Jobs. At NS123ABC, quoted Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei with a scary prediction.
Yeah, that one definitely made waves. He's talking half of entry-level white-collar jobs.
Yes.
Gone in maybe 1 to 5 years.
That's huge, pushing unemployment way up.
He suggested maybe 10–20% unemployment, levels we haven't really seen since the Great Depression, mentioned tech, finance, law.
And people point to that IBM layoff thing as an early sign.
Often, yeah, IBM laying off HR folks, reportedly replacing them with AI for certain tasks. It fits the narrative. But it's important context that critics mention in the source question Amodei's motives.
Like, is he hyping the threat to boost Anthropic?
That's the suggestion, right? Is it a real warning or, strategic positioning in the AI race? So it's a prediction, but also part of a bigger debate.
Okay, inside the tech world itself, at Didi Das had that anecdote. A Google search director, high salary, couldn't name a basic search metric.
Right. Couldn't name NDCG, which is like Search Ranking 101. It highlights this idea of a tech merit income gap.
The whole rest invest culture.
Exactly. High pay, stock options, but maybe not peak productivity or technical sharpness anymore. The blind survey data mentioned showed quite a few employees feeling this exists at top firms.
A disconnect between pay and contribution.
That's the critique, yeah. Suggests fancy titles don't always equal sharp skills in some big companies.
And it Austin hit on tech salaries, too, those massive U.S. numbers, like $400K 1 meter base.
Yeah, that post nailed the confusion, especially for folks outside the U.S., like in Europe. Those numbers seem unreal.
Different salary scales, different job stability expectations.
Totally. And the blind data confirmed, $400K total comp isn't even necessarily senior at some top U.S. places. It just highlights these huge global gaps and why these salaries become trending topics.
Then at the LO's very honest accountability post about the T3 chat beta failing. Again.
Oof, yeah. A real look into how messy software launches can be. Users frustrated old bugs, performance lags, reCAPTCHA issues, outages.
Shows that smooth migrations are tough.
Incredibly tough under load. He talked about the database migration failing, having to pivot to a parallel migration, super complex.
And needing to backport fixes.
Right, taking fixes from a newer version and carefully applying them to the older life beta. Tricky stuff. Plus, disabling cloud sync, maybe adding an incognito mode. It shows development is often about reacting and finding workarounds, and, being transparent about failures resonates.
Okay, final tech bit, lighter note. At Trunk2Fan and that viral kangaroo video.
Ah, the kangaroo trying to board a plane sparked that whole real or AI debate.
It's had to be AI, right?
Yep. And it shows a few things. One, AI image video generation is getting scary good. Two, our first instinct is often skepticism now. And three,
It taps into real-world weirdness.
exactly, like people trying to bring weird emotional support animals on planes. That's a real headache for airlines. The fact the kangaroo felt almost plausible says something about reality itself.
Okay, big shift. Markets and economy. At Unusual Whales, noted Cathie Wood's ARK buying Nvidia before earnings.
Interesting timing, right? Especially since ARK sold Nvidia early back in 2023, missing that huge run-up. Buying back now shows confidence, but definitely puts them under the spotlight.
And Nvidia's earnings were already under scrutiny because of that H20 chip thing.
For sure. That reported $5.5 billion write-down, directly linked to U.S. export restrictions hitting China's sales. Analysts still expected growth overall, but the stock looked a bit overbought, RSI was high, and Chinese competitors are popping up.
So even Nvidia faces headwinds.
Absolutely. Geopolitics, market dynamics, lots of pressure points.
The market buzz too.
Yeah.
At Watcher Guru, reporting GameStop buying Bitcoin. Odd of Bitcoin.
Yeah, $512 million worth, over 4,700 Bitcoin. It's clearly a strategic pivot for them, moving towards crypto as their retail business faces challenges.
The price they paid implies Bitcoin around 108K, higher than some predictions.
Definitely reflects momentum. And it fits that broader trend institutions, corporations adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets, maybe seeing it as a hedge, a store of value. GameStop doing it adds another layer to Bitcoin going mainstream.
And bonds.
Yeah.
That Kobe's letter saw the 10Y yield rising, pulling stocks down.
Yeah, linked to fears about deficit spending, structural issues. The U.S. debt is $34 trillion, deficits over $1 trillion.
Creates bond supply, pushes yields up.
That's the concern. Higher yields make bonds look better than stocks, potentially pulling money out of equities.
And there was that near-crisis moment in April.
Right. The context mentioned falling bond prices almost triggered margin calls, like in '08. Policy changes averted it, but it shows how sensitive the system is to bond volatility. It's not abstract. It connects to real financial risk.
Let's blast off Space Catalyst. And SpaceX celebrated another Falcon 9 launch, 27 Starlinks.
Almost routine for them now, isn't it? But the public excitement is still there. It shows the success of Starlink building out that low Earth orbit network.
Low latency is the key difference, right?
Exactly. Compared to old geostationary satellites way out there, it's the sheer volume of launches that enables this new capability.
Speaking of SpaceX, Elon Musk's meme about reuse at Elon Musk posted it.
Yeah. The Revolutionary War guy is asking, can we reuse it? It's funny, but points to that huge milestone reusing the super heavy booster.
Crucial for lowering costs.
Absolutely essential for making Mars colonization even remotely feasible economically. That's the core challenge the meme joke's about.
And then at Surbudage shared that striking image, a failed rocket test, probably Starship, with the caption about not giving up.
Yeah, likely a Starship failure. They've had some spectacular ones. Pairing it with don't give up isn't just motivational fluff. It's a reminder that huge innovation, like reusable super heavy lift rockets, involves massive setbacks.
It requires persistence.
Immense persistence, tolerance for public failure. It ties right into the Mars vision. You only get there by learning from explosions, basically.
Okay, shifting to society, well-being. At Level Celsius shared that image about walking.
Simple, but powerful. Reference Dr. Chuck Hillman's research, more brain activity after just a 20-minute walk.
It boosts cognitive function.
Directly. Brain plasticity, thinking clear. It's like that old Latin phrase, solvitur ambulando.
It's solved by walking.
Exactly. Ancient wisdom backed by modern science. A walk's not just exercise, it's a brain tune-up.
Now for Controversy Corner. At Vigilant Fox, taking aim at Ozempic.
Yeah, that post laid out several claims from its source, that it creates dependency, doesn't cure obesity, weight comes back when you stop.
And serious side effects mentioned. Gastroparesis, suicidal ideation.
Those were the claims, yeah, citing study data. But crucially, the context provided also mentioned the FDA finding no clear link to suicidal ideation in its reviews.
So claims and counterclaims.
Exactly. The post also drew that parallel to the Fen-Phen scandal, suggesting, profit over safety concerns. The takeaway is there's a strong counter-narrative swirling around Ozempic regarding dependency and side effects, fueling debate despite regulatory findings. We're just relaying what the source presented.
Another heated one at LibSoftTech Talk on grading for equity in San Francisco schools.
Right. Proposals attributed to the state level, actually. Things like potentially eliminating homework, tests, late penalties, skipping class penalties, changing the grading scale.
And critics worry it undermines standards.
Yeah, that's the core criticism presented in the source, yes. That it could weaken education quality, leave students unprepared. The context also noted the focus on final exams, maybe multiple attempts, and a perceived lack of solid peer-reviewed studies backing this specific approach.
So it's a flashpoint.
Definitely. A flashpoint in the bigger debate about education's purpose, fairness, accountability, how best to measure learning. Equity versus traditional standards. Again, just reporting the debate points from the source.
Okay, last one. Broad societal observation from @Chamath. Chamath Polyhepatia.
Dividing people into accountables and unaccountables.
Accountables believe reward ties to effort. Unaccountables expect reward regardless.
That's his framing, yeah. Accountables link success to hard work, merit. Unaccountables, he suggests, expect status through systems or connections, not necessarily contribution.
Fits his own story, maybe?
Reflects that perspective, certainly. And the context linked it to Nassim Taleb's idea of rent-seeking people profiting by manipulating systems, not creating value.
Taps into debates about fairness, meritocracy.
Exactly. Who contributes, who benefits unfairly, sources of inequality. These frameworks really tap into those deep societal discussions.
Wow. Okay, that was a sprint through today's buzz, right from that daily vibe casting snapshot. AI's future, market jitters, space challenges, debates on work, health, education.
It's quite the mix, isn't it? Technology accelerating, economic pressures, fundamental disagreements about how things should work, all bubbling up.
So the final thought for you listening, what does this snapshot really tell us? Are these just fleeting online trends, or are they signals of deeper shifts happening right now? Something to chew on as you navigate the noise.